Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be talking about, is it a good thing that Konami separated the OCG and the TCG into two separate ban lists? Now, this is not a ban list prediction video or anything like that. I made reference about some of the cards I wish would come back, but that's not the main focus of this video. The main focus is to talk about and discuss the separation of the OCG and the TCG, and has it been a good thing for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, specifically us here in the TCG meta? Is it a good thing that Konami did this? Now, I know a couple of years ago people were actually talking about that. Some people believe, I think Galactic God was actually one of those back then, that did support the idea that Konami needed to do something about the ban list. The separation between the OCG and TCG was one of those suggestions that he actually gave, and shortly after he actually talked about that, Konami did just that. They actually separated the OCG and the TCG. And I think, looking back on it, having it been over a year now since that's happened, you know, the OCG and TCG have gone in two separate directions, and in their own regards have become their own special Pacific games. They've become kind of two different games in some regards. Even though they are both Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, they are kind of in some way two different metas altogether. They've always been like that to some degree, and sometimes because we get a delay in cards coming in, we have usually a 3-month delay, and we don't always get the OCG good support cards sometimes that we wish we would have, like Heraldic Beast, Konami Never Disc, which got limited a couple of formats ago in the OCG, I remember. We didn't even have that card. So we haven't even experienced that card or had that card to play around with in real life. And Japan and the OCG have experienced that already, and that card got limited to 1, I believe it was. But we haven't experienced that yet. So it's a good thing. I guess you could say the best example we've had is Gisky Kraken, I think it was. And it came out and hit an Arsenal a while back, and everybody was really excited for Gisky's support. You know, it was like, oh, Ritual deck is going to be really, really good. It's like the hype that is now for the Neocloth deck. It was the same thing for Gisky's back in the day, to some degree, with the little hand loop that they could do. But then it came over here to the TCG, and within a week or so, the ban list came out, and Gisky Kraken was limited to 1. No, it didn't get its time in the sun, and everybody wants their deck to have a time to shine, and that deck didn't get its time to shine, which was kind of sad. It would have been probably the first good ritual deck before Neocloths, probably, even though we don't have Neocloths at the moment. But it's kind of, people had these expectations, people invested in this card, and then it bellied up because of the fact that it was broken in the OCG and they had had it for a long time, but we had it here over the TCG, and at that time our ban lists were exactly the same. So I got to thinking about it some more, and I said, yeah, I guess it is a good thing that the OCG and TCG ban lists are actually separate when you think about it. For the main fact of the reason is that we can experience cards that the OCG has already experienced, and yes, we can look at Pojo, we can look at OCG tournament reports and see how it's faring over there. But our meta is completely different than their meta. It's always been that way for a long period of time, and it's even become more so like that over the course of the last year with the separation of the ban list. And I think at the end of the day it's very good, because we don't have to worry about a card coming over from the OCG as an import or in a set that, you know, they've had for 6 months already, but we're just getting, and worrying about having that scenario like I described before happen with Gisky Kraken, and having it just hit right away. We can have the ability for the deck to shine, have its moment in the sun, not have to worry about getting hit because it's really broken and it's been out for a while in the OCG. We don't have to worry about that. We can have the fun. Then we have the ban list, our own ban list, which deals with our own Pacific meta. No matter what you think about what Konami in America is doing with the ban list, and they haven't made, you know, major changes since that separation of the OCG and TCG over a year ago, no matter what you think of that, it's been very good because they are targeting our meta. It's specifically catered to our meta and what we do. And because of power creep, they don't hit the cards as fast as they do over in the OCG. Granted, there are cards in the OCG that I wish I could play with. Trishula, Stratos, Events Ritual Arts at 3, that'd be so fun to play in some just cool wonky ritual decks like Demise OTK or Hero of Perfection or just a whole bunch of cool decks. And they have Macrocosmos, I think, at 3, and Defissure at 3. So, you know, graveyard-oriented decks are not as good as they are over here. Like Burning Abyss would probably have a harder time over in the OCG than in the TCG with their 3 macros and 3 Defissure. Don't count me on that though, but that's what I remember last I looked at the OCG ban list. And the one card that I would really love to play around with is Cyberstein. Yes, it's not the best card, but they have Cyberstein I think at 3 or 2 at the moment over in the OCG. And I would just love to play that over here because I used to play in that format and I have a lot of the cards. It'd just be fun to play it as a casual fun deck again. And even legal to just play it in just some wonky decks because you can go Cyber Sign, pay a whole bunch of life points, summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, equip it with Megamorph and just swing batter, you know, have a lance in hand to protect yourself and just wreak havoc all over the field just for a fun little gimmicky deck. So there are sometimes I wish the OCG and TCG ban list were more similar, but at the end of the day, at the end of the rainbow, I have to say that I'm happy they're separate. I actually prefer the TCG ban list because you look at the OCG ban list and there's just some things that are really, they have like 3 of, and you're just like, I'm happy we don't have that right now. That'd be really detrimental to a lot of things we play. So that's a good thing. I mean, different people are going to have different opinions. That's perfectly normal. But tell me down below, what do you think of the separation of the OCG and TCG ban list? Do you think it's been a good thing for us here in the TCG, or do you think it's a bad thing? Things like that. So tell me down below in the description, guys. Until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I apologize that I seem very, very tired in this video. Believe me, I'm working on the last drop of fuel in my blood system before I like crash and go to sleep right now. So tell me guys down below. Until next time guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you, and I apologize I'm super tired in this video. And take care everybody. Seto Kaba, I'm out of here guys.